Ladies and gentlemen, aviation enthusiasts and virtual pilots from around the globe, welcome to the live broadcast of the inaugural race of the first FAI Virtual World Gliding Championship 2024. I'm today with Jean-David. Good evening, Jean-David.
Good evening, Antoine. How are you?
I'm very fine, thank you. And you?
I'm very fine. I'm thrilled to discover this new competition we organize with the FAI and discover the numbers competitors tonight. It's incredible to see how many pilots are connected. We will enjoy this race together.
I'm sure we will. So tonight marks the commencement of a great journey in the world of competitive virtual gliding as we kick off the qualifiers phase. So we will have some time during the race to explain what's the entire format of this first FAI Virtual World Gliding Championship. But so tonight is the first phase, the qualifiers, and we are at race one every day. So today and tomorrow we'll have a race, and for every competition day we will have three people who will qualify, the guys who will make it on the podium. Those races will be from February to April, 6 races, so 3 times 2 races. You will see, we'll talk about the planning as well later on. Participation is open and free for all, offering a unique opportunity for both novice and competitive pilots who are already very well aware of what flying in Condor is. So you're really invited to join. We will show you that as well during the live streaming, how to register onto Condor Club so that you can try to compete for the next races that we will have until April. It's all free and you can join and try to do your best to qualify. Jean-David, what do we have today? Where are we today for this race?
Yeah, that's the big question as we are racing for the World Gliding Competition in a virtual sailplane. We can fly all around the world whenever we want, and that's what we like about virtual gliding. Tonight, we are in China, and that's a great country we didn't discover from our previous competitions. So we will discover this landscape and the race the setter have set for tonight. As we said, there is a lot of pilots connected to discover this new competition. So we will have a look in a few minutes where we are in China, because it's a very huge country and we could fly in very different positions. So maybe we'll have a look at the 2D view in a few minutes.
Exactly. So today we set our course to the scenic landscapes of Yunnan in China, and we've chosen this location to coincide more or less with the Chinese New Year celebration. And it's the first time that we're going there with FAI Virtual Gliding. There's not a lot of gliding yet in China, but it's one of our aim to be able to develop it in the countries in the coming years. So the pilots will fly through Yunnan, and you will see that today's race is actually really crazy. I flew the race yesterday to make sure that everything was going to be feasible and that the landscape would match what we wanted to have, because as you can see on this huge map, the landscape is very different in China, depending on the region where you want to fly. But apparently Yunnan is one of the best region to fly if we have gliding there one day. So we are really keen to be there tonight to explore a little bit of China.
Yeah, we can see with the color on this map that we are already high. The different landscape and the different airports in this region are quite high. So we'll discover the different rules about the departure and the finish line. And yeah, the race tonight, Anton, maybe I can give a little bit information about the task. We will fly a race of 233 kilometers. So we will start from for a leg of about 66 kilometers to the north. Then we will continue to the north, thank you, team. We continue to the north for a second leg of 74 kilometers. Then we will go back to the southwest about 54 kilometers and then going to final reporting points. The leg is 33 kilometers and a final short leg about 4 kilometers to finish at the airport. Antoine, you know the name of the different turn points in Chinese.
Yes, of course.
I won't try this, but you can.
So we will go through them very quickly. So the start is in Yuanmu, and the maximum start altitude will be 2,400 meters for the pilot with a max ground speed of 170 kph. So you need to be careful if you're flying to not not fly too fast. Sorry, to don't go so that we don't go too higher than 170 kph. Sorry. Second, so first turn point then after start is going to be Xingguancun, located at around 1,800 meters, so not easy. That's a standard classic turn point, 500 meters radius. Then we will go to turn point 2. We renamed it in English because it was not there in Condor, so we had to create some turn points. So we called it river split because, as you can see, it looks like a bit like Serponçon in the Alps with 3 rivers splitting. So that's the main point that they need to go to at turn point 2. Then we have turn point 3, which is Guanyin Dam at 1,000 meters. Okay, so basically for those 2 first legs, it's not going to be easy because the sailing is good, but not as high as the pilots might want the ceiling to be. Thermals will be more or less moderate, so they will need to stop from time to time because it's kind of you don't have a lot of margin between the fields there and the small hills and mountains with the cumuluses. So there's not a lot of margin, so you need to be careful and to fly reasonably, I would say. Then after turn point 3, they will go to turn point 4, which is the reporting point, actually, which is just south of the airfield for around 4 kilometers to align with the airfield. And you will see it's pretty amazing because the airfield they will land on is more than 200 meters long. It's probably around 3,000 meters, 3,000 meters long. And it's a huge runway on top of a hill, which is located at 2,000 meters QNH. So it's absolutely crazy. You will see. We will fly just next to that hill with this airport between turn point 1 and turn point 2. So the pilots will be able to kind of see more or less what they might expect for the final glide. It's going to be super interesting. Yeah, really looking for that, actually, Jean-David.
Yeah. And you mentioned that they may be careful about the speed crossing the start line. And in addition to that, they have a wind from the southwest about 18 kilometers per hour. So they need to be very careful to use the ground speed and not overspeed when they are crossing the start line. Antoine, you tell us that there will be a great landscape. I'm thrilled to see that. I didn't flow this task this time, so yeah, I will enjoy that. And as we can see, we are live in YouTube and Twitch. Maybe in the comments you can say, what do you expect from this landscape? What do you expect from this race? Please tell us what you think. Send us a message to say hello. We are live YouTube and Twitch. We already have one message multiple messages, sorry, from Linus28 who say hello, is with us on Twitch with also 36 viewers. And Imrama say hello, and are you streaming the 1 a.m. UTC2? Unfortunately not, because with our accents you can expect that we are French, and at 1 a.m. UTC we are sleeping because we need a bit of rest. So sorry, we are only streaming this slot and not the others. Wind Whispers say hello to pilot and viewers. Welcome to FAI Virtual Gliding. Welcome to everybody.
Great. Well, welcome everyone to this race. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. As you can see here, we are in the game right now in Condor 2. We can see the start line and the line, the yellow line going straight to turn point 1. As you can see, the start is located just over an airfield, and the pilots in the air, they will see some hot air balloons there. We will have a look at them later on. But there are some mountains
Nice, thank you,
there
Tim.
as well, east of the track. Thank you, Timothée. So that's the hot air balloons taking off from that airfield. That's pretty cool. So they need to be careful because they are located right next to the start line. But we expect actually the pilots to start from the east side of the start line, very close to the mountains. We will see what they will do because there are a lot of options for this first leg. Actually, I'm really looking forward to that.
I'm totally amazed by the number of pilots right now. I'm flying Condor with a virtual headset, and it is very helpful to be careful about the other pilots. And I don't know how could they fly without this type of tools, because here I don't know how many pilots are connected tonight on this server, but I know that the
I wanted
kingdom
to
view,
ask.
the 2D view, is we have almost 100 pilots online. So this is on multiple server, I guess, but I think that on this server there are a lot of pilots. They need to be very careful on the security. Antoine, do you know if they can touch each other and crash?
Yeah, well, the recovery option for mid-air collision is on.
Yeah.
It's been set already for 2 years, something like this, because as you mentioned, it can really happen very quickly in that game, especially when there are so much, and they get a penalty for that. But
63 pilots on this server we are looking right now.
okay,
Wow, it will
yeah,
be very intense.
yeah, very intense. And the very good thing with what we've done with the qualifiers is that you can miss some races because the overall results doesn't count. Okay, you just need to. It's a one shot. Every race is going to be a one shot, and you need to be able to jump onto the podium to qualify to the Pro Championship afterwards. So you really need to be on the podium on one of those races to move to the next step of the competition. So you can miss one race. Anyway, it's going to be okay. You have 5 more races coming with the next one coming tomorrow. So it's going to be with pairs of 2 days. And we will have a look at the schedule later on. So the pilots will start in about 3 minutes from now, the first race of the qualifiers. Really looking forward to see at what speed they will fly, because today we don't have any wing loading limit. Usually with virtual sailplane Grand Prix, we have a limit at 48 kilos per meter square or max 50 kilos per meter square. But today they can go up to more or less 60 kilos per meter square, so they can fly much faster and lose less altitude. So it's going to be very interesting to see at what speed they can go. And yeah.
Yeah, and as you said, and as we can expect, all the pilots are grouped on the right of the start line on the east part, next to the mountains. Actually, the wind is coming pretty much just from below from your screen approximately right now, so it will be push a little bit on the ridges, and they may fly along these ridges going to turn point 1 from, I don't know, maybe a few kilometers, because the different ridges in this region are not so well aligned. So we will see what will be the strategies. We've seen in end of August, the start September, that they love to fly the ridge even with low wind speed.
Yeah.
So be very interesting to follow the different strategies, as you said.
Yeah, and today the wind speed is a little bit better than usually, so they will get some help going towards the ridges, but it will not be enough. Taking that first ridge is for sure helpful, but then you will see there is not a lot of ridges to follow to go to turn point 1 and 2, so they will have to make decisions very quickly after 30 kilometers. They will not have any choice. So we will see what they will do. They I expect a split at least into 2 groups, but we will see what they will do. I'm really looking forward to see what's the best option. I took one of them yesterday. I couldn't take both options to see what was the fastest one. Obviously, I was all alone, but But yeah, you will see it's really amazing, and the landscape is not something that we see in Europe or even in Africa and so on. It's really unique. So I hope the pilots will really like to fly there because I really loved it yesterday. I really loved it.
Okay, we should be very close to the opening start line because 1 minute from the start line open. So they are preparing themselves, thinking about strategy, maybe looking for one of the pilots of their team to fly with it or to follow him, knowing that he's a great pilot. We've seen some competition number that we recognize from a different competition previously made. So we will see who is going to win tonight. Yeah, we've seen a lot of pilots: Emmanuel Cartier, Eric Nugnas, Jordan Yernen. they are two
That's
groups,
good.
too compact. I can't see their names right now. Yeah, they are grouped just in front of the star line.
Awesome.
6,
6,
5.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Race is on. So they went toward the east, obviously, and towards the ridge right there that we are talking about. Seems like everyone is taking that option more or less for now. Some will fly directly towards the ridge probably, and others in a more direct route to meet the ridges later on, as you can see there.
I guess they are flying fast. Oh yeah, oh yeah, boy. 250 kilometers per hour. The race is on. The wings are on fire, and we can see Arne Martin Gettler leading the race right now.
So Arne Martin Gettler with the champion of the second FAI Virtual Sailplane Grand Prix is already qualified to the Pro Championship that will be in just a couple of races from now in the coming weeks. And you may wonder yourself what happens if Arne Martin wins tonight. Well, then the second, third, and fourth place will then qualify to the Pro Championship. So he will not impact the results, whatever happened. But for sure, he will be a serious contender to win the race tonight. We have Norbert Kiss from Hungary right there. Is used to flying amazing races as well. He went towards a much straight route than those pilots who went straight to the ridges like Arne Martin. Very interesting to see.
I am totally amazed by the number of pilots. I'm sorry I've repeated already 3 times, but being inside of the goggle next to the ridges, flying at 200 kilometers should be very, very intense. I should fly with them. I am so
Me
afraid about
too.
this.
Me too. What are we doing there,
Yeah, yeah.
Jean-David?
Next time we will comment with a very via headset, Antoine.
Yeah.
So Wind
Exactly.
Whisper in the comment of Twitch say, good luck to all competitors. May the World Gliding Championship be a success and lot of fun to all. Yes, of course. Julien Lieta on YouTube say, hello to you all. Glad to follow once again. Hello, Julien.
Hello, Julien.
Jarnen Yenen following the gaggle.
So there you have two options. Either you use the ridge to go as fast as you can, but don't try to climb, or you just do like Jeroen Jennen here from Belgium. You try to lower your speed to take advantage of that climb rate that you can get on the ridges to be able to be a little bit behind, but higher to make to take the best option later on. It's very interesting. Wow, look at the number of gliders, man.
That's amazing.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and Jarnon have flown a very, very great race. It's been almost a year ago in Mexico during the virtual, the World Series. He did a great, great fly on this time. I hope he will enjoy this race.
Witold Rozak, right here from Poland, one of the best pilots in the world for sure. flying at 200 kph along the ridges there. He's well placed. He's quite high as well on those ridges, so it's good. It's a good start, I think, for him.
And I think that in the comments we have some Belgium viewers, so do not hesitate to send a message to follow your favorite competitors. Jan is a Belgian pilot, and Julien, I know you, you are from Belgium, so please send us message to follow Jan. And Donapia Luigi from France is also a great pilot. He competes in a lot of competition, including the second FAI Virtual Sailplane Grand Prix in Pavolo, Italy, where he flown quite well. Unfortunately, he didn't manage to score a lot of points, but that's the clue of Virtual Sailplane Grand Prix. They are all following together. I think about 30 to 40 pilots right here in the first gaggle.
That's amazing views, huh? As you can see, amazing views with all those gliders. And yesterday I was all alone in there, flying with the VR goggles as well. And I was really amazed to fly just next to those mountains in that epic landscape. And you will see afterwards, it's even better, honestly. So really looking forward to see what are the options in front of them right now. It's going to be interesting to follow.
I already think to the landing pattern. When they will announce them, I'm the 40th pilot to land. It will be crazy to see that. Sir Lancelot, what's a surname? Is in the first pilot right now, taking the lead, maybe a bit lower, but that's great. I'm looking to the 2D view right now, and some of the pilots before the start have reached the lakes we will see on the left, just before the start line, to see how the ridges are going, if they can make them climb or not. So pilots like Emmanuel Cartier have seen this place just before, and it was a great idea to follow these ridges. Maybe we will see in front of them what they will face. Antoine, do you know when the two strategy will be seen? Maybe just after this lake or in the...
Well, right now, so the ridge is joining and crossing the track, as you can see here, and then the ridges will go to the east, but they will go really to the east. So either you stay upwind and you try to take another ridge here, or it's much easier to go to the east side. So there will be at least two options, and maybe three options, with one going forward straight in the middle on track with the cumuluses. So either, yeah, we will see what they do. Yes, Sir Lancelot is probably going upwind there. But yeah,
here we see
you will
the
see.
Here we see the river going to the right, and another one on the left, maybe a bit off the track, but the mountains are going to the north, so they may follow the ridges once again. And as you said, the other option is straightforward, but the altitude between the ground and the ceiling is not that great, and it should be a bit tricky to follow this pass. We will see. Benjamin Stel, Bravo Sierra 3 is going to the right, maybe looking for the different cumuluses in front of him when all the pilots are quite high compared to Sir Lancelot. They are in a good position to go to the next step of this first leg. Already 25 kilometers flown in a 66 kilometers leg. It is quite fast. Following the ridges in this type of flight, it will be very intense.
Yeah, and you will see that the turn point one is actually quite high. The landscape, well, the terrain is very high there, so they will need to be high enough to be able to pass turn point one. It will be the same for more or less all the turn points. So that's why Mark, who made this amazing task, had to create a point on that river at River Split, because there was no waypoints available next to it. So that the pilot at least don't have to climb above or higher than a mountain to be able to pass a turn point every time. So that's one of the difficult turn point for today that they will face in a few minutes from now. So most of them, it seems, have taken the option to go upwind there.
Yeah,
There are some small rivers going down, and they'll probably continue to go upwind. Right, they are very interesting to follow. Hopefully, the ridge afterwards is good. I hope for them. We can see BS3 and GPA. We've taken the option to go to the east,
Mhm.
more straightforward.
It's very interesting because the ridges they are going to on the left is not quite well aligned with the wind. The wind is coming not directly in the direction of the valley, but just a bit on the left right now on your screen. So maybe in the reality, as the river is way down from the mountains in upwind should be a source of turbulence to avoid the wind coming up on the ridges. But I don't know if Condor take it into account, or maybe Condor is a bit better to create some upwind along the ridges. So we will see the first pilot to go is Sir Lancelot. Is right now on the ridge, and FFL is also going on the ridges, but a bit
Well,
earlier.
they are low. They are low. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
going to be
it's
easy.
difficult.
PWR is quite well placed now, actually. Sierra Mike one as well, because they are much higher and they will get much more energy from that point. Interesting. So he's flying the Ventus 3, Sir Lancelot. Maybe you can jump towards Sierra Mike one team so that we can
Yeah, have
see
an
what's his
overview.
altitude. Okay, very good altitude, 2,200 meters. It's quite high, quite high, and he's trying to be on top of that ridge.
Oh my God!
Uh,
When you look back, you see all the group of pilots.
yeah.
You don't want to stop.
What I've seen is that most of the very good pilots, very experienced pilots, they stopped before because I saw that Arne Martin was quite high behind. Same for Vitold, I believe. For Ronnie Lindell from Sweden as well, they were higher and behind that group. So I think they slowed down or they took some more energy on the ridges or with a small thermal.
Yeah, it may be a great idea not going so too low, because when I see on the 2D view what is going after this little ridge, it may be a trap because the river just made a 45 degrees turn on the right. Then the river will be completely aligned with the wind. So maybe the ridges in this region will be difficult to take, and it may be a bit difficult to follow the path they are following right now if you are too low. It may be a trap in a few kilometers. Don't take it. Be careful. And I think that, as you said, the well-known pilots are aware of that, and they took enough altitude to be safe in this part. GPA just stops. He didn't flown to the different cumuluses in front of him, so he's a little bit stop and blocked. And yeah, majority of the pilots took the decision to go west, following the river.
Trying to see the altitude of GPA, but yeah, so then he's for sure below 2,300 meters because I don't see him on the right. As you can see, we have so many pilots tonight. It's amazing to follow. I'm trying to follow the comments on YouTube, Facebook, and so on. Don't hesitate to follow the channels and to subscribe if you can on Twitch. That would help
Yeah.
us a lot.
How many viewers? 44 on Twitch and 15 on YouTube. Wow, that's great. You are a lot of viewers in to see this competition. Maybe you can tell us why are you here? Maybe you are flying the competition, so maybe don't send us a message, but you can just be interested into the format, or the different competitions, the different competitors. Tell us what you are interested in. That's very interesting for us to know who is watching our live and how we can improve it. So that's everything you want.
So Vital Rosak at around 2,000 meters there is actually in that leading group, not far from Sierra Mike 1 that we saw. Anton Burkun is there, flying straight. Yeah, I did more or less the same yesterday. I was quite often flying quite low like this over a lot of small hills, and it was actually very easy to do and quite. I didn't feel any time in danger and so on. It was quite surprising to be able to fly like this in those landscapes, actually. So because you can see you still have options after that. Yeah, it's a bit crazy. It's a bit crazy,
Yeah.
yeah. And there are a lot of cumuluses, but they are not all easy to take. The thermals, they are not so strong as well. So when you fly at 200, 250 kph, it's difficult to stop into a thermal that is only 2.5 meters average and so on. It's quite difficult to do. But you can fly that fast only because you have some ridges like this. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able. So you need to be able to switch mentally between this attacking mode and kind of medium safe mode that you must have from time to time so that you can complete the task as well and try to perform as best as you can.
So you have flown only one race in near to Yuan, Antoine?
In Yunnan,
Yeah,
yes.
Yunnan.
Yeah. I flew only this race yesterday to see what it was like because we've
Okay.
never been to China, so I wanted to see what was the race, um, what was the task set by Mark there in Yunnan. So
Yeah,
yeah,
maybe.
it was kind of to prepare this life and to enjoy as well the landscape there and to try to understand if it was feasible, realistic or not. So yeah, there is some wind. The pilots can go with full wing loading, so obviously everyone is flying super fast. But yeah, I was absolutely doing the same yesterday. I mean, if you can fly fast and just following the ridges for quite some time, you just do it until you need to climb. But I think we will pretty soon see some pilots taking a thermal to climb. They will need to select a good one, but it's not that easy to do today.
And I think that's already the case because we saw a group of pilots taking a thermal in the middle of the ridge they are following right now.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe in the comments, Wind Whisper say he loves soaring in real life as well as flying the virtual world. And maybe if you've flown this landscape in Yunnan, you can tell us what you know about this landscape. As you said, Antoine, you've flown only one flight in this region. I've never
Yeah.
flown this landscape, so maybe we have viewers that are knowing more about this landscape than us, and we are very interested into how flying this region. So please tell us if you know more about it. Okay,
So
Michel Bigan following and leading the race with other pilots, but I can't see the name. Maybe team, we can go to the maybe back of the group. I know that it's difficult to search for a name into the counter spectate mode, but we have Jornen, you have Jornen, we have Arne Martin, we have Uwe Melzer, Marcin May, and all the well-known pilots. Yeah, maybe just behind Mihail Ignos. Yeah, Arne Martin stopped with other pilots. They are flying quite high. We have 8 kilo higher than Arne Martin, and other pilots have stopped in front of them. Yeah, they took another cumulus. Some pilots, as you see, sorry, are going really low. Romeo Tango uniform RTU is low. With that number of pilots, we will see a lot of different behaviors.
yeah. And you can
That's
see,
normal.
really, Arne Martin and Ronnie Lindell, they have a lot of experience and they are flying much higher. They will just try to
Yeah.
catch up the pilots going very, very fast in front, because at some point you need to stop, and they are trying to pick up the best thermals to be able to control the race. It's kind of the leaders controlling the race that we see here in their behavior, and it's really interesting to follow. We have 269 again here, and so some pilots that we don't know yet. TDK is here. Actually, there are a lot of pilots.
Yeah.
C'est Emmanuel Cartier, KMI,
So
for
much
sure
pilot.
we know him. Mialik knows. We have Cuba, Quebec Juliet right there as well. So a lot of pilots. I'm really, really pleased to see all those pilots. I think uh, the top pilots invited their friends in the community of their countries, so that they could join and do the races. I expect that 1 a.m. UTC to have a lot of Japanese pilots flying the race as well,
Of course, yeah.
because there is a very strong community from Japan flying all races in Condor. So that's really amazing.
And as we just see, the turn point 1 is on the right of your screen right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, thank you, Tim. And that's why they may gain a bit of altitude,
They
because
must
as you
climb.
see, yeah, it's totally flat from their position to the turn point, so they will need a bit of altitude to fly to this turn point and
Yeah.
come back or take another thermal. So it will
Exactly.
be
You may be able to go to that turn point, but then you need to be able to get out of it.
of course.
You need to get out of that high altitude
And
plateau like
you
that. So
you see
it's not
there
easy.
the distance flown is 62 kilometers, so there is a bit uh, about 5 kilometers to go and to come back, so 10 kilometers to do.
Yeah.
Here, Stefan Hill is going only at 140 kilometers per hour, not so high compared to the ground. And
Well
you have,
done. So
yeah,
Filou from front is much higher, and he will be able to escape. He has a lot of speed, so he
exactly.
will be able to escape. But as you can see, it's not easy. If you are below 2,100, I think you cannot make it way out and back.
He managed well his energy, and there is no airport on this turn
No,
point. So,
it's a city. It's a small city right there, and I flew to the east myself yesterday. I took a east route. Uh, I gained more energy on the ridges to the east, and then I took one thermal. I stopped just a few seconds just before that plateau and that turn point to be able to climb enough to then pass overhead and continue the race. So I expected them to do kind of the same. Some of them are doing it right now, but yeah, it's a difficult, a very difficult turn point for the pilots today. Uh, we can
yeah.
see Witold Rozak going for it and trying to turn the turn point and try to escape. You can see the route where Eco Mike is going to escape from that plateau to go into the valley afterward, because then in the valley they are really safe and they are super high compared to the valley afterwards. So yeah, it's a difficult turn point for the pilot.
Yeah, because you are speaking about escaping this flat position, but I don't see a really obvious decision for the next turn points, because the hills are not well aligned. It's
Exactly.
still a bit flat. The cumulus are not so high compared to the ground.
Yeah.
They do not look like a really, really intense and giving a high climb. So we will see what Philo will do. It may fly around these small mountains to escape and to gain more safe altitude. But yeah, when you have escapes, what are you going to do? That
Yeah.
the that's very interesting.
I think you have two options. Either you try to follow as much as you can those very small hills to continue towards the turn point and wish to have some luck to get a cumulus, or either you go straight into the valley to get the cumuluses, climb as high as you can, take one or two more cumuluses to pass towards that to go towards turn point two, because it's really not easy, as you said, to go there.
Yeah. Thomas Meyer, you can see really, really high compared to the others, and you can see a lot
He has a lot
higher
of
and
options.
longer. Yeah, he had a lot of options in front of him. That very great position. Yamoka Yalanen in front of him. And maybe we can go to the view to see what we will face to go to turn point 2 and to do a small recap. So we are in the first qualification race in China for the first FAI Virtual World Gliding Championship of 2024. Most of the pilots have turned the first turn points, and then we will go back. We will go to the north to turn point 2, and we have a 75 kilometers long leg to go there, and multiple options in front of them, going to the valley, climbing with the cumulus, or following the small ridges. We'll see what will be the different decision of our pilots to go and to race to turn point 2.
Exactly, Jean-David. I see on Twitch a comment from Pacho Pagano. Buenas tardes. So, buenas tardes, Pacho. Welcome to this race, and thank you for following us on this great virtual adventure that we are having tonight in China over Yunnan. It's yeah, great landscape just next to the Himalayas, the Tibetan areas, and the Southwest Asia. So it's quite a good spot and one of the best spots of China apparently. We are back in the race with Michel Bigon flying on the ridges. I see GKK right there, the Jarmo Karjalainen from Finland, flying probably with his GS1 or GS3. Well done, Michel. Donna Pierluigi, obviously, in a GS3. He's flying much higher than those guys, using these very small mountains, small hills that we have here. As you can see, that's not the typical landscape that we have in Europe, right, Jean-David?
Yeah, of course, the mountains are not really straight, and yeah, they are not well aligned because they are coming from everywhere. It's not like the Alps, where the Alps make a great stripe all along the different countries. Here, all this part of the country is high, so to decide where you want to go, it's maybe a bit difficult. And I am discovering it right now. I've never been there, even if in Condor or in Google Maps I'd never watched this part of the world. But it's really interesting to see and to discover it with Condor.
Yeah, really, I really loved flying there yesterday. You can see in the background already the reporting point, TP4, and the finish. We'll go just next to the finish line in a couple of minutes, and the pilots probably will realize what the finish is going to be like for them. So they will need to land at 2,000 meters, and you can see for most of them they are just next to 2,000 meters, just below or just above. So they will need to climb much higher to be able then to land on that strip that is really high on top of a hill. You will see it's absolutely crazy. The finish is absolutely crazy for tonight. So I'm really looking forward to see that and to see how many pilots are going to fight for the final there. Well done, Thomas Meyer. 2,245 meters, more than 200 kph. Who is behind him, Tim? Just to check if there are people above him. Okay, I see JJJ, Joshua Arns in X-Ray Alpha.
Mhm.
I see Arne Martin behind. Some British pilots as well. Very interesting. CR Mike 1, CR 7. Great.
Yeah, the pilot who took the decision to go straight to taking the Cumulus GPA we saw earlier, he's really late. I think he's not the last one, but just before. So yeah, it took too much time to go there. And we will follow his race in a few minutes. Stewart and Shaw, Sierra 7, a bit higher, following the mountains. looks quite okay. He's about 0 meters per second average, I think, so, or maybe a bit more. That's okay for 200 kilometers per hour. He is doing it well, going to 10.2, quite in the great direction, the good direction, and he's looking for a cumulus in front of him. Maybe different pilots will go there before him just to know where the thermal is located. Yeah, quite a great base, a bit dark. Echo Yankee is going there too. Yarmo and the others are going straight to 10.2, maybe looking for the next ridges, but they are not that straight. Don't know if it will give
Yeah, I think they don't really have enough options right now.
yeah.
There is a small cumulus that they are heading towards. You can see the shadow just below Echo Yankee right now, and they will head towards that cumulus to be able to climb probably, and then go towards 10.2. But I think they don't have a lot of options to cross that
Yeah.
valley towards the next hills, um, very close to 10.2.
Yeah, I think it is safer to take a thermal right here
Yeah.
and be in a good position to the next hills if you want to try it. But it's a bit risky to go there, but we know that some pilots are expert into risky decisions, so I would not be amazed, I would not be surprised if some pilots are going straight to it. Okay,
So
so
we are abeam the finish here,
yeah,
bow annealing, runway north. Maybe Tim, if you can move the camera around and try to do a close up around the finish. Yeah, just like this, so that we can see what it looks like. So that's the big runway right
okay.
there that you see just below the logos. Yes, and that's really on top of a hill, and you can see the finish line really at the threshold of that runway, so the pilots they can land straight ahead or they can do a low pass and come back to land. It's a really long runway and so on, so you will see at the end of the race, but it's going to be something for the pilots. I think that's a very interesting race, and I'm really looking forward to have the feedback from the pilots from that race. Thank you,
Thank
Timothée.
you.
So that's the finish line that we have, and you can see what it will look like for the pilots. Oh my god. So that's really at the runway threshold, and they will need uh, to fly there and to cross that line and then to land. That's a big runway, right? Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Thank you, Timothée. Let's get back in flight with Philou. He's going straight toward turn point 2, I believe.
Yeah,
Right
I
there,
think
he's in the valley.
they look for a great climb here, but they may not find what they are looking for because they were in the valley and everybody was looking for a cumulus. They go just below the cumulus, but nobody stops there, so it wasn't the great thermal of the day, I guess. Just a few pilot stops I can see right now on the 2D view, but not the majority of them. Jan Meretic is going straight like the others, following the different ridges and hoping that one of them is going the climb they need to continue to turn point 2. A small cumulus just in front of him. Maybe he will stop. Here, Janen, the Belgian pilot, is going and is high. Is at 2,000 meters and he's not going low. That's great to take great decision.
So
Julien, yeah.
can we see the turn point 2 in front of them, Tim, please? Yeah, okay. So they are really heading towards that
Mhm.
really,
Yeah,
really small ridge. You see, they are
yeah.
not sharp. They are not really great, but they offer some energy so that the pilots can just control their speed, their energy, manage their total energy, and so on, and try to not lose too much altitude in transition in between the thermals. So that's interesting, a very interesting option for Jeroen, because he's really high enough himself, but the others are not that high. You need to be able to slow down from time to time, and Jeroen has made it well so far.
Yeah, we can see that the route to turn point two, just as Tim is showing us right now, that on the ground you have a small river and a small road that is going into the valley, and we can find the different ridges that are quite sharp. I don't know if they will follow it very precisely or if they will try to find an energy line between the average route to the turn point two right there, but the wind is coming from the left if you are looking into this screen from the southwest. So the wind is quite well aligned with the different ridges next to turn point two right now. So we will see with Jan here if it is going well for him and with the different pilots in front of him. Antoine, did you went to this route to turn point two, or did you manage to have
Yes,
another way?
yes. I took more or less this route, taking some thermals and so on to get
Yeah,
there. But
this
yeah, no,
part looks more obvious. Yeah.
yeah, this part is a bit more obvious, maybe, or
Mm.
I won't say easy, but there are not a lot of options. I mean, at some point, when you flew quite low between the start and turn point one, you need to get some rest and to climb
Yeah.
high from time to time to be able to continue properly, safely, and so on. So you see, they are trying to do their best to follow those ridges, but yeah, you at some point you will need to climb. As you can see, the cumuluses are much higher than their altitude right now. It was not really the case between the start and turn point one, but now the margin is much better than before for them. So it may kind of make sense to be able to climb in a thermal from time to time there. And you see they're trying. Huh? There is something probably right there.
Up here.
I don't know if there is something on top, but they feel that there is some hot air and a good thermal, maybe. They are trying. I don't think there is a cumulus on top of them, but they feel that there is something right here. It might not be only dynamic, probably thermodynamic dynamic thermals. Really good. And you see the guys that are lower than them, they cannot do that.
Yeah, of course.
I see 269 trying to get there, trying to climb there. There is something around, but it's really not easy. It's a very good climb so far for
Yeah,
Thomas
yeah.
Mayer. It seems to be quite stable as well, between 3 and 8 meters per second. So that's a good average, I think, in the end. You
Yeah,
can see
maybe
with
not
the
more powerful just close to the ridges, but on the average, it looks very okay.
yeah. Exactly. We will see what the future holds for them right now. But it looks
Yeah,
promising. Thomas Meyer is climbing well indeed. Jeroen
yeah,
Jennen as well. It's a good group as well. I see Joshua Arns just below them. So Stewart Henschel is there. I see 269. So, oh, that's very close between 269 and Sierra Kilo. That was super close. You can see.
yeah.
Wow. Wow. Super close. Close call.
Yeah, I totally understand their decision because in front of them, where the pilots are going right now, we see Echo, Yankee, Yam, etc. It's not that great. The ridges are not so flat, so gaining a bit of altitude may allow them to follow a safer route to
Mm.
the turn point two, and I would have done that, I think, just maybe because I would be afraid of what is going on in front of me. But yeah, you can see that Yamo Kayanainen and the other pilots just did the same thing a few kilometers away from the other pilots.
Yeah.
Already 113 kilometers flown on a total distance of 233 kilometers, almost half of the race. Yeah, it's time to gain some altitude, but you can see that the variometer is not positive all along the cycle.
Yeah. So it's not easy.
Not that easy, yeah.
Uh, yeah, I don't even know where to go now. We indeed have very good climb for Jeroen and for Tamas. Here they are trying to climb as well.
And
Some
Yarmo, continue.
others are yeah, continuing like Yarmo. You see, it's not easy. Huh? You see that river, and that river that will lead towards the turn point. If you follow the river, you will join the turn point two there. But it's not easy. Huh? There are some ridges, but you will lose some time. Probably you will lose some altitude. It's not easy at all.
Yeah, just as Wind Whisperer telling us on Twitch, he find it very interesting to see all the different options taken by the pilots. It is true when you are watching the stream, but it is also true when you are flying the race, even if you don't feel the level to fly in an international competition that is named the World Gliding Championship. My God, it's amazing. But it is free, it is open. So Wind Whisperer, if you want to fly this race with us or the other races after this one, feel free to join us and to subscribe to our channel, to follow the different news and to join the pilots. You will learn a lot inside of your cockpit. You have plenty of examples to follow. If you find a way that you could continue, maybe you can find another pilot that is following this way and find the others pilots. So yeah, everyone who is watching, please feel free to follow our races.
So if we have time, maybe we should talk about the schedule now, but it's quite interesting to follow right now as well. So it's a bit difficult. Thank you. So that's our new studio that we have as well today. So that's quite cool, and we have Condor in the background. So just a recap on what we are doing now and what's the schedule for the coming races. So if you need to if you want to have more info, you need to go on virtualgliding.fai.org, and once you're on the website, you go onto schedule or onto FAI first FAI World Gliding Championship. Sorry, I'm having issues with the website on my side. So we have race one today in China, and tomorrow we are racing as well. There is another qualifier in South Africa. It will be in Kimberley. So that's a part of South Africa. We've raced there already before, and it was a really, really cool landscape, but it's all flat compared to Yunnan here. It's all flat, very different. The pilots will fly in standard class. I can say that already. No wing loading as well tomorrow. So the pilots will be able to fly the ACE W28 for the first time. It's a new free glider that came out at Christmas time. So it's going to be quite nice. Then after tomorrow, you will have to wait a bit, and we will come back together on the 5th of March. It's Tuesday, 5th of March, for race 3 of the qualifiers, and then it's going to be on the 6th, the day after, on Wednesday, 6th of March, for race 4 of the qualifiers. And then for race 5, it's going to be on the 19th of March. And race 6, the last race of the qualifiers, is going to be on the 20th of March, Wednesday. So as you can see, we have 3 pairs of 2 consecutive days for the qualifiers, and it's going to be the same thing later on for the Pro Championship. We're going to have an event in between the qualifiers and the Pro Championship on the 2nd and 3rd of April with some esports series stuff. You will learn more about it later on. And then the Pro Championship is going to be something from another world. But we can't say more so far, but you will see it's going to be amazing. We are really happy to race and to have this new format, so in a calendar year format. So we will see what we do then in 2025 after this one, but we'll have the world final after the Pro Championship as well, and so on. So you get all the info on our website, virtualgliding.fai.org, to have a look at that. And to register, you may register as well going to condor.club. You just write condor.club, and then you go to competition, I think, on condor.club.
Yes, I
Let
think
me
you
do
can
it
find
right
it now.
now. Yeah, on contest or whatever, it's written on the 4th page of the website, and then you go down, and the third one, the third contest that you will find is first FAI Virtual World Gliding Championship
Yep.
qualifiers. You click on it. There are today 229
Mhm.
pilots who are registered to the event. We have something like 70 of them right now in that server. There are 3 servers tonight, plus the ones at 1 a.m. and there is another one as well at in 11 hours from now. I think it's at 9 or 10 a.m., something like this. Then you have as well all the info on condor.club. When you go to register there, you have the recap of the races, of the format, of the dates for all the races and so on. And then step by step before the races, we will give you more info every time. Okay, we're gonna race the next 2 times. For the next pair of dates, we will race onto that landscape and this landscape. So now it's Yunnan and Kimberley, but obviously it will change. We have 6 races for the qualifiers, so we will go on all continents. So we are in Asia today, Africa tomorrow, and then obviously there will be Southern America, Northern America, Europe, and so on. So and Oceania, I believe we planned that as well. So that's what you may expect today. 18-meter class, tomorrow standard class. You may probably expect 15 meters or club class or 2-seater or whatever for the other races as well, because we have 6 class in gliding, so 6 classes in gliding. So yeah, go onto condor.club to register if you want to do that very quickly and easily. Otherwise, you go on the main website virtualgliding.faa.org to get all the information, and you can support us as well. You can donate to virtual gliding. You can subscribe to our channels. You can subscribe with Prime account as well onto Twitch. So that would help us a lot. We don't have any ads yet so far for set up into Twitch and so on, so that it's not it's convenient for everyone. But please subscribe and it will help us.
Antoine,
Anyway,
I
back
need to
to
stop
the
you
race.
because we have a breaking news. We are reaching turn point 2 Adri right now. Alpha Lima 1 is arriving to turn point 2 quicker than we can expect, because we did a long explanation about how to join us on this competition. But here it is, the turn point 2 with Alpha Lima 1. He followed the ridges and is quite low, but he's done it. He's the first pilot to turn point 2 in a few seconds.
So the
Oh,
Ukrainian pilot Andrei in the GS3, well done, is the first one turning turn point 1 today. Very well done. Distance flown 140 kilometers. So less than 100 kilometers to go for the pilots today. Obviously, it's quite low, but there are some ridges, and other pilots are not that high as well. Anton Burkun is there, probably as well from Ukraine. I expect both of them to fly together tonight. Liviano Severin, well placed for the third spot there. Who's behind them, Timothée? Thank you very much. Okay, so there is still quite a big gap between those guys and the followers behind. There is a group with Witold Rozak, 57, Echo Delta, Jeroen Jenen that is much higher. It will be interesting to see at what point they will match. Can we have a look at what's towards turn point 3, please? So yeah, that's right there indeed. So now the wind is still coming from that side, so pushing like this.
exactly.
So it's not easy for the pilots who just turned the waypoint here. You can see there are a lot of hills and ridges, but you need to pass over it.
Exactly, and that's maybe the biggest difference compared to the followers, because if they are turning the turn point too higher than the first ones, maybe they will find a way to go on the ridges on the right here, like Liviano is trying to do, because when you are looking to the 2D view, maybe there is a way to go and follow the different ridges to find a straighter route to turn point 3 than going back to the hills following the river. They follow to come to turn point 2. Liviano was just as high as he needed to find the top of the hill right here.
It's
But
difficult, huh? You
yeah,
see,
yeah, he's not
he
on the
might
right side.
he might be blocked there, so he need to find a cumulus or something, and yeah, maybe there's some cumuluses just in front of him, but it's not gonna be easy. We will have to go around. Yeah, that might be a good option to do. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
just
the ridges
benefit
is
the
not
guns.
going too well right now, but the great cumulus is over him.
Yeah. So this cumulus has a big impact as well on the ridges there. So he will need to find the core of the thermal air. But if he manages to do it, then he might get a good lead, a very good lead. If he gets a very good climb right now, he might get a very, very good advantage.
Yeah, but very, very difficult, because
Yeah.
you saw that going to this position was not easy. He didn't gain a lot of altitude, and it maybe find a great thermal and even the core of it, but the following pilots will see that and they will immediately join the core of the thermal. So the advantage is a bit tricky to take in this position, and non-pilots follow him to this way. I don't know if there is not a lot of pilots that have turned the turn point 3 right now. Ekoyanki did it. Alpha Lima 1, Alpha Golf Bravo. But the following pilots are just arriving to this turn point.
Yeah,
So we'll see.
exactly. It will be very interesting to see now
Yeah.
GKK and Sierra 7 reaching the turn point right now. What options they will take? Will they go towards those ridges, or will they just make a U-turn and come back from that valley to go towards turn point 3? It looks like
Exactly.
they are doing this. I'm quite surprised actually. But yeah, as you can see, it's not easy. You can get stuck
Ooh.
very easily.
Yeah.
So you have two really big options here. Either you try to go on one side of the ridge, or you try to come back through the valley. Not easy to take.
But maybe a great thermal. I saw 15 meters per second climbing. Not easy to take, I guess, but they will try. And you just on your screen, what would you
What would you
take?
do?
What would you do in this decision? Turning 10.3 at approximately 2,600 or 700 meters. Would you went back to the hills, or would you try something to make the difference compared to the other pilots? That's the idea. Tell us in the comments, because we don't have so much message from a moment now. So please tell us what you think about this race, what you think at this moment, who is going to win, or who you hope is going to win, because you may support one of them. Please tell us who is going to win this
To
race.
win
Maybe
the
it will be
race. Yeah.
Jarmo Kajalainen right now. He's high, 2,600 meters, able to take great decision. He have a great overview on this race right now, following different great pilots, quite high, following the ridges.
Trying
And
to take a picture of the start to show that to our viewers on Instagram. It's not easy to do.
going back on the 2D view, I can see that some pilots start to take different decision. You have JJJ, the Belgian pilot, who tries the same idea as Lima 70 just did in a few minutes ago. Michel Bigan went straight to turn point 3 also, turn point 4, sorry. And we'll have a look, maybe just before, maybe Tim, you can show us 269, who is just turning the turn point, because here we have a lot of different decisions. The first pilots who were a bit lower have no other solutions than going back. But here, about 10 pilots decided to take another way. They are going straight to turn point 3. We can see it just in middle of your screen right here. They have 54 kilometers to do to turn point 3. And the Napier from France, 269, taking the advantage of a small climb and going straight to the hill. I'm quite surprised to see them in this side of the ridge. Maybe they will try to find something a bit later on. Their objective may not be this ridge, but the other one. Okay, so I understand better now. They are all looking for this small ridge, which is well aligned compared to the wind, because here with this position of the screen, the wind is coming straight from the left. So the hill is totally flat, is quite straight. So they may be able to do way and back and to gain some altitude, even if Stefan right here is not climbing so much. It was a great idea. In addition to that, we see a great cumulus above them. So it is a strong information to expect a climb or not. And it's very interesting because Thomas Meyer and the others, wow, that's impressive, because some pilots, maybe 15 to 20 pilots, hoped that this hill will allow them to gain some altitude and to continue the race quite easily, but finally they decide to go straight to turn point, and hopefully the next cumulus looks great. They changed their decision, they changed their mind. The first option was not that great, so they decided to select the plan B. That's all what gliding is about: finding different strategies, finding different options, always having a second plan on your mind, not to go to the trap and be stopped into your race. We are back with Adri from Ukraine. He was low a bit earlier. He's now trying to find the lift because he stopped just below Jarmo Karjalainen. Jarmo is in great position. He's high. He's looking for some cumuluses just in front of him. And maybe on the 2D view I can see that. Yeah, maybe Tim, you can go to 2D view for a second, because here we are. We can see that the pilots from turn point 2 to turn point 3 followed approximately the same path, going along the different ridges, following the river, turning the turn point 2 that is on the top of your screen right now. But when you have turned the turn point 2, what would you do? And that's the goal of this 2D view, because some pilots decided to go back onto the ridges following the river. Just a few minutes after, they went straight. You can see UWE Umelzer on this group, so a bit later on the race. And a lot of pilots also decided to find another climb just after the turn point 2, but I think they struggle a bit to climb right there. I don't know what they expect after this position, after this holy climb, but we will see if they try to find their way to the turn point 3 in a straight way than the other pilot, but I think that the option on the east, so going a bit back on your track, went well for them. Uemelzer and the other stopped here. I may find the altitude of Uemelzer is 2,800 meters right now. So great position. Maybe we can go to see him, Uemelzer, in the corner view to have.
The pilots need to be high now, and you can
Yeah.
see there are some of them are 3,200, 3,300 meters. It's really high right now, and before they are flying at around 2,000 meters.
Mm.
So the race has changed.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
need to stop
Totally.
at some points. That's what I said earlier. You need to stop because you won't be able to pass over those mountains right here. You need to stop because in China, it's not like in Europe. You don't have those great valleys in the Alps to follow in case everything is a mess. You don't have a lot of hot landing fields here, so at
Mhm.
some point you need to stop to fly safe, fly quite high as well. And there is a nice cloud street right here going to turn point 3, so they need to fly high and to get there safely. They need to then finish above 2,000 meters. They need to remind themselves that as well. So they cannot go as low as they can, as low as they want now. Sorry.
Exactly. And on the 2D view here, I can see that, in fact, the pilots that went on the west option are quite high. Thank you, team. We can see it right now. Well, I think we have approximately 3 groups right now. The groups around Uwe Melzer who went back on their track. The group who decided to going straight to turn point 3 with Marcin May, Thomas Meyer, Donna Pierluigi, and other pilots. Sean also. Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. Yanan is here. And we have the followers who are a bit late on the track right now. And you see that Thomas Meyer, what a great altitude, 3,100 meters right now. That's
It's crazy. Huh?
that's
It's
high.
it's crazy. Like the views are really nice here. Uh, Much better mountains. That's what the pilot have seen before, but you must fly avoid those mountains. That's a very good group. Huh? Marcin May, Joshua Arntz, Thomas Meyer. That's very big contendant for the win today and tomorrow as well for sure. Every day is a new day with the qualifiers. It's one-shot races, so a lot of spectacle for the public, a lot of fun as well for the pilots. But yeah, you still only have 6 races to be able to get your place into the Pro Championship. So it's not easy. I guess it's a lot of pressure for most of them. Uh, if you really want to progress to the next stage, you don't have to do too many mistakes.
Yeah.
Is Ben Fest flying tonight? I'm not
Ah,
sure. With yeah, it disconnected.
oh, unfortunately,
Okay.
it's correct.
uh, very quickly into the race. So maybe he's flying offline and still flying, and he will be able, whatever happens, to set his track, his flight track onto Condor Club to be ranked after this race. So we will see. We will finish this race in the top 3, but we will have to wait tomorrow to announce the official results because there are 2 other servers for Asia and America, basically, more or less. So we'll have to wait tomorrow to give you official results. But still, tonight the arrival will already give a clear indication of what average speed we might expect for the winners and so on. Probably, most probably, the 3 winners who will qualify will be the ones flying this race tonight and not later, because there are so many pilots on this slot, on this server tonight, that most probably that's the fastest slot that we have right here in front of us.
Yeah, and we can see just on your screen right now that the East group has some difficulties to find a great climb. Jarmo Karjalainen and Eko Yonki didn't stop in below this cumulus to gain some altitude, so they are not happy with the climb rate they find. I hope they will find something interesting for them to gain the altitude they need to go to turn point 3 right now. So in the comments on Twitch, we have George Otzner say interesting task and great show. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much.
Thank you, George.
You are totally right. The task is very interesting. At this level of competing pilots, we can expect that they all know the best way to go to finish the task as quick as possible. But in fact, the task is so well designed that even the top pilots of the world are taking a really different decision, and it is very interesting to follow. Even for us, we are a bit frustrated to not fly with them, but that's okay.
For me, it's
We
okay.
follow it.
I flew
Yeah,
the race yesterday, so it's okay. But
yeah,
I would
I
have been
didn't have time, so
very frustrated actually because yeah, the landscape is so amazing. Just look at it now. It's crazy. Hopefully, you can download then all the flight tracks from Condor.club, and you can play back and fight against all of those pilots if you want to do that
yeah.
later on at home, if you want to be challenged by the other pilots. So you can try that at home as well if you missed tonight race. We still have 2 servers. If you register right now, you will be able to fly this task, but you need to fly it at 1 a.m. or later tomorrow, in 9 hours from now. So you need to be very quick to register, I believe.
That is a great idea, working from home the next day of a competition day. That time during a meeting, you have your VR headset and you can fly by your own during your working. That's a great idea. But as I am live, I won't do that. I promise. My employer will not accept it. So back in the race, not a lot of pilots on the East decision have stopped right now. They are following the path through
Yeah,
the different ridges.
because yeah, turn point
Yeah,
3 is at just above our heads here, and you see that they have enough altitude to go there right now at turn point 3, but then they will need to cross again some hills and mountains to go to the reporting point and towards the finish line. So it's not going to be easy. I see a comment. Did you say the comment from Norman? The USA server later this day will have a good amount of pilots too, he said. Um, so I really believe that tomorrow morning you will get a lot of people on that. I see Jeromo. Is it free, the GS3, or do you have to buy it? Otherwise, I will try to fly tomorrow. So we don't. So we are not Condor. So you must go on to Condor to be able to buy anything. So GS3 is a payware aircraft. Indeed, you have over 3 aircraft, 3 sailplanes to fly the 80-meter class in Condor. Tomorrow, for example, you will be able to fly the SW28 for free. I think it's just the Antares in Condor on the 80-meter class for free. So,
yes,
and
it is.
saying hi to Sandor as well, who is doing some
Yeah, exactly.
some wing. Shomon has just joined. What happened at the beginning of the race? What at the beginning of the race? Do you want to explain to Sebastian what happened, Jean-David?
Yeah, maybe we will try to do that with a 2D view. It will be nice to see way back
Sorry.
the race from the start line. Thank you, team. So here we can see that we started the race and the task a bit southern that we are right now. So just after the start line, all the pilots decided to follow the different ridges to the turn point 2 that is in the north. So most of them have followed the ridges to turn point 2 and just a few of them have stopped. That was a great idea, we thought, because we need some attitude here to not going into the trap and to need to stop to wait a better altitude. Then, just after the turn point one, the different pilots crossed some sort of the valley, so the hills were not higher than before. There were some flatlands around here, and here the different strategies start to be created, because some of them went straight to the flatlands trying to find the lift. Some of the pilots continue to follow the different ridges, even if they were lower. And just in a few kilometers before turn point two, everybody grouped to the ridges following the small river and turning turn point two. After turn point two, it is a mess, I have to admit, right here, because we see a lot of different paths. Some of the pilots just went back to the track, that the east decision, and some of the other pilots went straight to the turn point three, facing all the mountains that were high. So they needed at least 2,800 meters to fly this way, but they find a great lift. And I think that the highest pilots on this option were about 3,100 meters just after climbing in the northern region right now. We will see after the turn point three what is going to happen, because right here you can see that the first pilots, Eco Yankee, is joining the turn point three, is right now at only 1,600 meters, so that is not high at all. Because Antoine, you know it, what is the minimum arrival altitude?
You need to be at minimum 2,000 meters. It's very simple. The runway is located at 1,970 meters, something like this. And you need to be 30 meters above the runway at the threshold. So you need to be able to cross that finish line. And then you cannot cross it at 1,600 meters. And they will see it very quickly when joining the reporting point. Probably, maybe some of them will have to stop between the reporting point and the finish line, because you need to be high enough to pass it. So
that is not a common situation to be below the minimum arrival altitude when you have 40 kilometers to go.
4 kilometers, yeah, indeed. Yeah, it's crazy. We have Jarmo Karjalainen from Finland in his GS3 crossing turn point 3. Well done, Jarmo. Well done. 1,780 meters right now. And you can see the reporting point there in the background. So it needs to cross those small hills and then to be able to jump onto that runway at 2,000 meters. Kuba, the Polish pilot as well, a really good pilot, Kuba. Stewart Henschel as well. We can see very big names here that are leading the race right now after turn point 3.
Yeah, exactly. And I watched the 2D view, and on the way to turn point four, so the reporting point, the mountain can climb up to 1,900 meters. So they really need to climb before going straight to the reporting point, because they will face a wall and they won't be able to go through if they don't climb before it. So we will see what they will do. I don't know if some oh, thank you, Tim. Just looking at the pilot in the back, because I was wondering if some pilots were already at sufficient altitude to go straight to the end, but just after turning the turn point three, there are 40 kilometers remaining before landing, so it may be hard to go straight to the end. 1,700 meters, not high enough to go.
Come
Joshua
on.
Arndt, it's difficult. 260 meters.
2,260, yeah,
Yes,
indeed.
but
It
compared
is
to the
higher,
minimum
but yeah,
altitude.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. It needs more energy, but is in much better situation. Do we have other pilots just behind them, but much higher than them? No. We don't. We have
No,
JJJ and
maybe
269,
Martin May. Yeah,
Martin May as well, but they are so far, so far. They are, I think, 10 kilometers away, probably.
yeah. So maybe a bit higher, but yeah, they have right here 700 meters to go to the finish line, so it will be tricky. It will be tricky, but at this altitude, maybe as the next leg is going west to east, maybe the wind is better positioned to
Yeah.
have just a bit the small amount of energy
Let me
needed
check.
to cross the finish line at 2,000 meters. We will see.
Trying to see the length of the leg between the turn point 3 and turn point 4.
It's
54 kilometers, right? No, 34.
33,
33.8. So
33.8 exactly. Yeah.
34 kilometers plus 4. So they have 38 kilometers to go between the turn point 3 and the finish line. 38, and they need to cross the finish line at 2,000 meters. So you can already do the math in your heads to be able to understand what's the big challenge for them right now. They will need at least one thermal between this turn point and the finish line. They cannot go straight ahead.
Yeah, a great line amount of hills, but looking straight to the next turn point, it's not that easy to find the best way. The hills are quite perpendicular to the route, but there are some communities, I have to admit, and some of them are looking great. What a difficult position from Yarmo and Kilo Juliet Sierra 7 to be ahead of the others. Kuba, Yarmo, difficult here to find the great thermal without going away too much from the path and not spending too much time to find it, because the next pilot won't wait. If they see that you are climbing, they will go straight to your position and they will find the thermal in a second. Kuba, you see right here what I was saying. He did one turn, but unfortunately he didn't manage to find anything right here, and he's trying another cumulus just after him. Yarmo in the same position. Difficult time for them. They need to be strong enough to make great decision, and as you see right here, they are facing the wall. The perpendicular hills higher than them. Yeah, tough. As the wind whisper her tail, it's tough to get out of the valley. That's true. Here, if they didn't find anything to climb, they need to go back and to go down to the valley. What a difficult situation for them. Tamas Meyer, who was high just a few minutes ago, he finds himself into the same situation. Yeah, it is very intense right here, because just in a few hundred meters of altitude, your race can be so much different as this time. They are almost at the end and they are facing a giant obstacle. So you have to be strong. When you think it's finished, you find a hill just in front of you. And here,
But, it's the same at Saint Thomas. Sometimes if you come back from the
yeah,
east, exactly the same. If you don't climb high enough on the big mountains there, then you will be stuck and you will have to go around the valley just like here to be able to go towards Saint Thomas. So it's really funny to see that. It reminds me of Le Blayeul. If you are at only 1,400 meters, you cannot do that. You need to go in the valley and try to get some energy lines there, right in the middle of the valley. Often you have something there, so
exactly.
it's really funny.
And that's exactly what Tamas just did. He was going straight to turn point 4, but unfortunately the way was blocked, so he decided to go on the left, perpendicular to the path and to the route, taking a bit longer time to the end, but at the end, if he finds something And Yarmo right here.
Yarmo is stuck.
No.
He
Oh,
is stuck.
no.
Yeah, as Wind Whisperer is saying, it's tough to get out of the valley.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
really tough. You
Oh,
see,
yeah, my God.
if you pass over at this one, then the second one is much lower, and you will probably pass over the second one, and then it's gonna be enough to get to the reporting point, but still you will not be high enough to reach the finish line. So you really need to be able to manage that energy and to climb high enough. I see JJJ stopping in the thermal with Marcin May behind and Arne Martin Guttler as well. So that's very interesting. They are very close just after turn point 3. Thank you,
Maybe
team. So Arne Martin is right there. We have Joshua Arns. He's
oh,
leaving the thermal.
great.
Joshua is
Right,
leaving.
yeah.
Are they high enough? No, Arne Martin is leaving because there is another thermal, and I think they want to try the one with Uwe.
And maybe Timothy just going a minute on the 2D view to see the impressive spread of pilots just after the 10.3. We are
Thank you.
just a few kilometers away from the finish line, and at this position, usually they have enough altitude to go to the finish line. And the decision, there is no decision because you just need to go straight, and you are high enough to go to finish line. But here, they are not high enough, and they face a wall, a mountain, an obstacle that needs to take strong decision. At one thing you can stop before, you can try to go on the ridge and finding some altitude, or you can avoid it by going north like just Wemelzer and the other did. So we have only, I guess, 30 kilometers to go to the end, but anything is on the table right now. Nothing is done. We don't know who is going to win because all decisions have a strong impact on the final rank.
On the final glide and on the final rank, indeed. Tonight. Yeah, let's get back to Uwe Meltzer probably because I see that Arne Martin is joining him to try to climb in that thermal. No, they continued straight ahead. I see Thomas Meyer next to them. Sean is there. KMI, Mialik knows. They are going towards reporting point, and I hope that they've seen that the finish line is at 2,000 meters, but they will quickly realize that. Probably because on their PDA they must see that the ground is at 2,000 meters there.
And Stromon on Twitch asked a great question: what is the current ranking? Well,
Well, we couldn't say. So it's
yeah.
race one. Let's explain again. Race one of the qualifiers. There are 6 races, and every race is different. It's only one-shot races. You must get onto the podium to qualify to the Pro Championship that will take place in 1 month and a half, 2 months. So you must be in the top 3 of one of those 6 races to qualify. So if they miss a race or if they don't perform well tonight, they can still win tomorrow, still win in another race to try to qualify, but there is no overall ranking, overall results. And tonight, what we have in front of us is the current ranking for the race. We have KMI, Uwe Meltzer fighting there. I've seen JJJ Jarmo Jorunienen, sorry, from Belgium, stopping behind with Marcin May. Maybe they will win because they are higher, but those guys are ahead and they need to climb. They need to climb. 1,900 meters is not enough for Uwe Meltzer, so they will need to find just a little bit of energy to pass just above 2,000 meters on the finish line.
Yeah, that's what all this race is about, because we have a comment from Wind Whisperer saying, well, you are looking at the leading group right now. Yeah, okay, this is the leading group at the instant moment, but they are too low to cross the finish line at the moment. They need to gain some altitude, and behind them, maybe there are some pilots that already have stopped and have enough altitude. We can see Sean up there, Marcin May a bit higher.
Yeah.
So I think,
Sandor, well done.
yeah, yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, Marcin May and JJJ. I see Donna Pierluigi as well. Well placed.
So yeah, we have we are only 20 kilometers
Good.
away from the finish line, and we don't even know who's going to win because, in fact, we would need here ranking depending on the amount of energy they have, and we do not develop it at all for now. Maybe in the future it will arrive, but I think it's a bit interesting not knowing exactly the amount of energy they have because we can expect anything from this race. And if you are supporting one or another pilots, right here you can still hoping that he is going to win. Donapierre Luigi is well placed. Marcin May above him, just as the Belgian pilots above them. Very, very interesting finish right here.
Just a quick word to say thank you to everyone who is following the finish. I see probably more than 50 or 60 people here connected to follow the stream and looking at the finish that we have tonight in China, in Yunnan. It was an amazing race. I would like to thank once again Mark who created the task.
Yep.
We've tested it and so on. So we knew it would be an awesome race to follow. Thanks a lot to all the pilots who are there tonight, and remember that you can still register to fly the qualifiers until the end of March. So please do so. Going to condor.club to register and to fly with us. There is a second race tomorrow, so you must follow us tomorrow. In Africa, we'll be in South Africa in Kimberley to fly qualifiers 2 tomorrow. Let's get back to the race. Marcin May is right there with a very good position at 2,000 meters, very close to the reporting point. We have Andrei, the pilot from Ukraine, who reached the reporting point first, and he needs to climb. He's climbing now.
It's
With
below the
57.
minimum arrival altitude. That's amazing.
So they need to be above 2,000 meters tonight. They need to cross the finish line at a minimum of 2,000 meters here in China to be able to validate the finish and to land onto that big runway that is on top of the hill here in China.
Antoine, we are 4 kilometers away from the finish line. It is here. It is here.
And they are stuck. I knew it. They are stuck. That may be the winning thermal, indeed.
Exactly. That may be the winning thermal. They are here, and maybe just one pilot's is way higher. And
That's
May,
Marcin May and Joshua Arndt. Jeroen Jennen, can we have a close-up of that? Marcin May, I think, is
4 kilometers
for the win. Jeroen is going straight.
They started.
Wow.
Maybe they hope a little bit of climb just with the hill of the arrival.
What Martin is doing. He's going on the west side of the hill to try to get some energy just before reaching the finish line.
Oh my god.
That's what Echo Mike is doing.
Jeroen
Jennen is
below
going
the arrival.
144.
The arrival airport.
Wow.
That's great. What a race. What a finish.
Well done, Jeroen. You need to be 1,000 meters. Don't forget about it. Or you'll get penalties. And he will get penalties.
Oh yeah, maybe just
Marcin May, well done, Marcin. You are the first tonight for sure. Donna Pierluigi needs to be above 2,000 as well, and I think he didn't forget about it. Well done, Donna Pierre, second of this race tonight. So Marcin May, Donna Pierluigi, Jeroen Jennen will get plenty of penalties. I see Alpha Lima 1. Can we check his altitude? 184 kilometers. It needs to be higher. He will get penalties as well. François Seifert joining in. The pilots may be able to land straight ahead if they don't have enough energy.
Perfect.
Perfectly done. Uwe Meltzer, Paul Foster, Joshua Arndt has crossed the line. Paul Foster a bit too low as well. Thomas Meyer, he knows the rules. He will be above 2,000 meters. Jan Meritig as well, he knows. Well done. Sander Lorignet's very good speed, too much energy, more probably. Too much energy for Sander. Well done for completing the task tonight, Ronnie Lindell. So we can already say that for the pilots who are now arriving, it's too late to qualify for the Pro Championship, but it's already good to be in the top 10 or top 20 today with all of the pilots that were here. It's already a great position for those pilots. We have Sean Churchill.
Yeah, as you said, with the amount of great and well-known pilots, it is really good to be on the top 20 pilots tonight, with almost 70 pilots connected to this server. It's amazing to see the different strategy we've seen, and the finish was amazing. Thank you for all the pilots for racing this task tonight. It was amazing.
Yeah, and I really hope the
And yeah,
pilots who will fly the other slots will enjoy the race as well. I really loved it. George Ortner saying congrats to those who made it above 2,000 meters. I agree. So the top three will be selected and earn their spot into the Pro Championship. We will confirm that tomorrow. Just before race 2, we'll get the official results for this race tonight, and we'll be able to state already who are the 3 pilots who qualified via the first qualifying race tonight of this first FAI World Gliding Championship 2024. Jean-David, maybe you want to say some more words before we leave you all.
yeah, what a race. It was a great way to start the Virtual World Gliding Championship 2024. We couldn't imagine a better situation and a better race for this opening. We will see tomorrow in Kimberley if we will get a thrilling race as this one. I hope, and I'm sure it will be the case. China is a really interesting a landscape to follow and to fly. I think I will refly this race depending on the different situation, and I hope all the pilots will join us tomorrow for another great race. Thank you, Antoine.
Thank you, Jean-David. Well, I think we will get back to China for other races because it's really an amazing landscape, and I think we all have discovered something tonight. So I'm sure we'll get back there. I would like to thank you, Jean-David, to thank Timothée, and thank the entire team who worked on this race tonight, and all of those that are working on the project as well. Happy Chinese New Year to everyone. Year of the Dragon.
Yeah.
And we will see you tomorrow in South Africa. So same time tomorrow to race in standard class. So see you. Stay connected to our social medias, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Have a good evening.
Bye.